About 6 frequent questions asked by mostly new mothers. Okay, so we're going to start with number 1. What ways can I bond with my baby? Okay, so what ways can you bond with your baby? A lot of moms want to know this. A lot of moms want to, want to bond with their baby. Um, First way is breastfeeding. Everybody knows this. Um, Breastfeeding, it brings y'all closer. It's skin to skin contact. Um, and plus it gives y'all a lot of time to spend together while they are nursing. Okay, the second one is to carry your baby in a carrier on your chest. They sell them at Walmart, Target. They sell them pretty much about everywhere. Um, you can go and buy one. And it helps y'all bond because you can walk around the house with it, clean with it, go to the store with it, walk down the road with it, talk to the baby while they're in it, they're always there next to you and on your chest and hearing your heart and hearing your voice and smelling your scent. Another thing that you can do is bedtime closeness. What they call bedtime closeness is when you create a routine with you and your baby. Before y'all go to bed, create a routine. Like, give your baby a bath. And, after the bath, you can, after you get your pajamas on and everything for it, and, their diaper, sing to it, rock it, snuggle with it, just personalize it. And, that also helps, for y'all two to bond. They hear your voice and you're singing and they like that, you want your baby to like it, So create a bedtime routine so that way your baby knows every time it gets, to a certain time of night, they're going to do that bedtime routine. Number 2. When am I able to feed my baby cereal? This is asked by a lot of moms, especially new moms. Doctors, they recommend it, but then again, they don't recommend it. They would rather you feed them baby food instead of cereal, because cereal is known for, constipation in babies, and it's also known for a lot of weight gain in babies. Like I say, with everything, it depends on your baby, the genes of your baby, how your baby's going to react to it. They usually recommend baby cereal for 4 months and up, just like baby food. They don't recommend a lot of it, but hey, you gotta feed your baby. Two things to think about: the weight gain and the constipation with the baby cereal. Don't know if you want to do that. Maybe you do. It all depends on your baby and how it reacts to it. I put my baby on cereal and she was fine. She was full. She didn't gain too much weight, and she was never constipated from it. But your baby might be different. It's worth a try though. It helps them to be, a little bit fuller, and it takes a little bit longer to digest than, regular liquid formula, or breast milk. Um, but yeah, it depends on your baby and how it's going to react to that cereal. Let's see. Number 3. What are the best diapers for my baby? Okay, so of course, there's a lot of diapers out there. Pampers, Huggies, Parents' Choice, Loves, White Cloud, Target brands, a lot of diapers. It all depends on your baby and how your baby reacts to those diapers. Some diapers can't hold, all your baby's fluids and all that down there. Some are more prone to give them rashes, or they don't have enough airflow in them, whatever. I've tried Parent Choice, Huggies, and Pampers. Huggies and Pampers are a little bit more pricey than the rest of them, but Pampers works for my daughter a lot more than Huggies and Parents Choice. Huggies was a little bit too tight on her, but I mean, for the most part, holding in their pee and all that, it worked pretty good. But my daughter was really prone to rashes, butt rashes. So Pampers, for some reason, is a lot better. But then again, it's all depending on your baby and how your baby reacts to it. Just try, some brands and see how it reacts. Okay, number four. When will my baby start crawling? Again, a lot of moms ask this question, and a lot of moms are ready for their baby to crawl and excited for your baby to crawl. Again, it depends on the baby. It depends on the strength of a baby. It depends on their motivation and their encouragement and their faith in their self. A lot of babies will, of course, get up on their hands and knees and rock back and forth. Some babies crawl earlier than others, and some babies crawl later than others. The average stage and months to crawl is 9 months. Again, some babies develop earlier and some babies develop slower. Especially chubby babies. Chubby babies, because they have that weight on them, it takes them a little bit longer to crawl than, smaller babies. So, again, it depends on your baby. Ain't nothing to be worried about. It's all dependent on the child. A few things you can do to maybe help get them crawling is find their favorite toy or pacifier or something they really like, sit in front of them, and try to encourage them to come and crawl and get it. Another thing you can do is maybe just try to put them on their hands and knees and, help, let them rock back and forth and get the feeling of, them being on their hands and knees. Another thing you can do is give them lots of tummy time. It helps them build up their leg muscles and their arm muscles. So, a lot of tummy time. Number 5. What bottle should I use for my baby? Okay. So, there's a lot of bottles on the market. There's colic bottles, and there's special bottles, and white neck bottles, and Dr. Brown bottles, Avent, and Tommy Tippy, and all that. It depends on how your baby latches and how your baby takes to the bottles. I've had luck with Tommy Tippy and Avent bottles, not so much with Dr. Brown bottles. It's been okay with the Parent Choice bottles from Walmart. Again, it depends on your baby. I have had luck with Playtex air bottles. Yeah. If your baby breastfeeds and you're trying to use formula as a supplement or whatever you're trying to do, I would suggest Tommy Tippy and something that's more like a breast-like nipple. My daughter was breastfed and she did great on Tommy Tippy. A lot of babies don't, if they haven't been breastfed. But if they were just, from the start formula feeding and, they had that certain nipple, I would recommend Dr. Brown's or something similar to that. Of course, it depends all on the nipple and how your child latches onto the nipple. So just try whatever bottles you can and see what's good for your baby. And the last question, number 6. Why is my baby crying non-stop no matter what I do? Okay, so a lot of parents ask this and they get overwhelmed. It's just so frustrating and tiring for us moms, right? You think you did everything for your baby. You feed them, you rock them, you talk to them, you sing to them, do everything you think of, and they're still crying. Have no clue what to do and don't know why. So it can be the top 3 things. Well, 4 things. Okay, the first one is hunger. Of course, if you've already feeding your child, apparently they're not hungry. That's not why they're crying. The second one could be constipation. If you feed them cereal or, whatever, they could be constipated and it hurts their tummies, and they cry from it. Or it could be gas. A lot of times babies get gas trapped in their stomach and different parts of their bodies and it hurts them. Some ways to get the constipation and the gas, from hurting them, is putting them on their stomach on your lap and just kind of rocking them back and forth and rub their back, maybe rub their tummy. Another thing you can do is give them a warm bath. That would help a lot. It helps, ease the pain and helps things getting going through the body. Or they have things like gripe water or gas drops at Walmart or your local drugstore. You could use those. Some ideas, maybe there's some home remedies you might can look up or whatever, but some ideas to get those gone. Gas drops always work for my daughter, and hot baths really work for my daughter. Another thing you do for constipation, a lot of people don't recommend it. It's an old home remedy. Get a bottle, put some water in it, and just put a little bit of carrot syrup in it and shake it up and give it to the baby. And it slides it right out and helps. It's worked for my daughter many of times. So maybe that's an idea to help your baby with their constipation. Another thing is they could be teething, and that's really big, especially when they get about 6 months. Here's a couple things you can do for teething. You can buy Orajel and put it on their gums. Some people have recommended to get a bottle of whiskey or vodka or something and put it on, just dab your finger with it and just rub it on their gums, and it'll numb their gums. Not saying to do that, but I've heard a lot of times that it works better than Orajel. I haven't ever personally done it, but another thing is you can, if you ain't got a lot of money to go buy all these teething stuff, get a wet washcloth and put it in the freezer and wait till it freezes and give it to the baby and let them, bite on it and chew on it. Another thing that I highly recommend is the raspberry. It costs like $5-6 at Walmart, and it's got like little studs all over it, and it rubs against the baby's gums, and it helps my daughter a lot. I highly recommend that. There are things called teething necklaces, I think. I've never personally used them. I heard they work, but I don't know. That's one thing. But yeah, that's some ways that you can, with your baby teething. Also Motrin. Tylenol never worked for my baby. You could give them Tylenol or Motrin, baby's Motrin. That helps a lot too. Another thing why they could be crying is they're overtired. They're so tired and they can't go to sleep, but yet they're so tired. We've all been there and done that, I'm sure. What you can do is, sit there and I guess try to sing to them, rock them. You can put on some lullabies for them. If you co-sleep with them, cuddle with them in the bed and just rub their head or rub their back. Or there's a cry it out method. Yeah, we've all heard of the cry it out method. I personally wouldn't do it, but if you want to, hey, it's worth a try. If you can't figure out anything else, just put them in the crib, shut the door, just let them cry it out. Or sometimes, like my daughter does, she don't ever cry it out. She'll just go right to sleep. There's also a thing called calming tablets you can buy from Walmart or maybe your local drugstore. It's 6 months and up. It's little tiny tablets, and they dissolve on the baby's tongue, and you give the baby 2 of the dissolving little tablets every 15 minutes. It's supposed to help with, sleeplessness, fussiness, gas, and it's natural. So, maybe that's something you can try too. But yeah, those are some tips and some frequent asked questions by moms, and maybe you're needing an answer for some of these questions. Okay, thanks guys. Oh, like and subscribe.